Hi everyone, it's Danny, and I posted earlier to tell you all that I'm going to be adding a new segment to the channel on Wednesdays where we talk about all different things going on in pop culture, in politics, on TV, whatever. Diddy just got convicted, and it's not what fans expected. From flashy yachts to federal courtrooms, the story behind his downfall is wild. But he's not the only headline today. The Idaho killer just struck a deal to avoid the death penalty, and Trump wants to deport Elon Musk. Yes, you heard that right. Hollywood, true crime, and billionaire beef all collided this week, and I am breaking it all down. All right, let's talk Sean Diddy Combs. The verdict dropped and it's sending shockwaves. While he was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering charges, he was convicted on 2 counts of transporting women across state lines for prostitution under the Mann Act, which can carry up to 20 years in prison. That comes after explosive testimony from multiple women, including his ex, Cassie Ventura, who gave a very emotional testimony and spoke about years upon years of abuse and very, very explicitly talked about the freak-offs that have become infamous and their surveillance footage, financial records, even witness accounts from former bad boy insiders, and it painted a very disturbing picture. The internet is fully divided. Some people say cancel him forever, send him off, I hope he gets the full 20 years. Others are still defending him and saying that the prosecution did not put on a strong enough case. My take personally is that he is not even going to serve the full 20 years in prison because he has never been convicted prior, and he will get less years because of that when they do his sentencing. My personal opinion is that he is a pretty terrible guy, and I wish that it had gone another way, but this is our justice system, and this is how the chips fell. It came in, there was a hearing today to determine whether Diddy would remain in custody until his hearing, which is scheduled right now for October 3rd, or if he would be released on bail for the time being. The judge ruled that he would be held in custody until October 3rd, but also stated that he would allow the defense to appeal for the sentencing to be moved earlier. Thinking of his victims today, Cassie specifically, who went up there and put herself into such a vulnerable position and talked about everything that she endured. Her mother took the stand, and I'm thinking about how she feels today in light of this verdict. I'm thinking that he is just going to serve a couple of years in prison. Maybe he'll get 2 years, maybe he'll get, I don't know if it'll even be that long. Typically in cases like this, judges do not sentence to the maximum sentencing or anywhere near it a majority of the time. So that definitely lends itself into Diddy's favor. And to me, it just feels like a privileged, famous celebrity getting away with horrific abuse of power and money, and he'll be able to return to his high life and live in splendor, and that really irks me, and I truly wish it had gone differently. But let me know where you stand and your team. Next up, the Idaho murder cases. Brian Kohberger, the man accused of brutally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students in 2022, just pleaded guilty in a surprise courtroom twist. He's accepting a life in prison without parole to avoid the death penalty. This plea deal comes after months of speculation, delays, and massive public interest in the case. The evidence: DNA on a knife sheath, cell phone tower data, and chilling surveillance footage of his car circling the scene. This case shocked the country, and now with the trial canceled, families are left with justice, but no real of the plea deal came to light this week. Some of the families of the victims have been speaking out, 2 of which are very opposed to the plea deal and really wanted to seek the death penalty. They felt that that would be justice, that this is the easy way out for him. He came forward stating that this was their best case scenario because they do not have to now relive all of these gruesome details, the horrible pain that they've been going through during a trial. So today, the judge ruled to accept the plea deal. There was a hearing. The families were there. There were many, many tears in the courtroom. After today's very emotional hearing, the next time that Kohberger will appear in court will be July 23rd for his sentencing, and the families will have the ability to give their impact statements to influence the sentence. Families that came out against the plea deal stated that they only received word of the plea deal on Sunday evening via email with a letter attached to it, and that prior to that on Friday it had just been mentioned in passing, and they didn't really think it was going to be an option for him. So very let down by the state of Idaho, and they don't feel that this is justice for the lives of their daughters, sisters, nieces. They're extremely upset. I hear a lot more from the families. I think that those that oppose the plea deal are going to come forward in documentaries, in tell-alls, talking about how they felt very wronged by the investigation, and that they felt, in their words, that they were seen as opponents, that they were not given a lot of detail and information right from the start. Prosecutors must have felt that going to trial was going to be very risky. And remember, we don't know all of the details of what evidence the defense was questioning the validity of and how much of an impact that would have had. All the defense has to do is create a reasonable doubt in the jury's mind, and Kohberger could have walked free. You could have a Casey Anthony situation where someone who so many of us look at evidence and think, this is cut and dry, this is black and white, this person is a murderer. The jury, when they are read those jury instructions, they are told that if there is a reasonable doubt, they should not convict. So, was it better to have a plea deal where he is going to go away for hopefully 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, or a hung jury, or a mistrial, or an acquittal? Your thoughts? Do you think the plea deal was the right path, or do you think that the prosecutors should have pushed for a trial? Now let's talk about the latest tech meets politics showdown, the exploding feud between President Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Musk blasted Trump's massive Big Beautiful Bill, calling it insane and threatening to form a third party called the America Party if it passed. Trump hit back hard, joking that he would look into deporting Musk, despite Musk being a U.S. citizen since 2002, and hinted at yanking billions in subsidies and federal contracts from Tesla and SpaceX. What has been the fallout of all of this drama? Tesla's stock took a serious hit, slumping over 5% after the spat, reigniting, costing Musk around $50 billion in market value. Investors are totally freaked out. Ross Gerber says the feud may be a nail in the coffin for Tesla, pointing to a declining deliveries and crippled market confidence. And on a global scale, Musk's drama is trending globally. On Chinese social media, users are backing him, sparking 37 million views for hashtag Musk wants to build an America party. Meanwhile, Trump's aggressive stance stirred protest across the U.S. under banners like Deport Elon and No Elon, part of the broader Tesla takedown movement. Whether you agree with them or disagree with them, love them, hate them, Trump and Musk are dominant forces. You're talking about the president of the United States and one of the biggest tech gurus in the world. Their feud is making them look weaker. There is power in their unity, and when they can come back to that and realize that together, they can really drive great change. So let me know what you think. Do you think that there is a chance for Trump and Musk to come together after this, or do you think that this feud is it and their friendship is toast? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And a lot of you warned me not to get political on the channel. You said you don't think that that's a good idea because it is such a hostile environment right now, that people are so polarized against one another that politics are just a no-no to go there. And so I'm treading lightly. I am somebody that is a very level-headed and rational person, and I like to hear both sides of things. I like to hear people's opinions. So I'm interested in your take on this. What do you think? Do you think that this feud is going to come to an end? Do you think that it's going to have devastating after effects? Do you think that it's over for them? Let me know in the comments. A fun break from the norm for me to just sit and talk about current events and kind of give my spin and my take on some of these topics. And I want to know your take on the hot topics, where you stand, what your thoughts are, and what topics you want to hear me talk about next week. You can wait until a few days if you want to see what comes up in the news cycle and let me know. But I'm curious to know what you guys want to hear about and talk about and discuss and create conversation with it. Enjoy your Wednesday evening. I hope that you enjoyed chatting with me and hearing my thought process on some of these things, my take, and I will see you guys soon. Tomorrow is Thank You Very Much Thursday, so I will be here. Love you guys so much.